Shalom. First and foremost, call Loyim La Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Kakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles of the Great Millstone, who peace and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And this is just gonna be a land back lesson in which you see the video right here on the screen. The channel is GMX Class of Kings, which I believe this brother's part of the main camp. And you know, pretty much, he was responding to, the headlines that was going forth, stemming from yesterday's events, where you had, these thugs, these Edomite thugs, ransacked the Capitol building, which that was all, set up and controlled. But nevertheless, what went down, and you just had to have, a group of brothers go out and show themselves and try to steal the show. And as a result, they got, negative headlines, of course. It seemed like, they were reporting them more than the actual perpetrators. They was just out there, preaching. And next thing you know, you got headlines of, black hate group, with clubs and, stuff like that being put out. And Esau couldn't wait to use that. That's why, we're, we enjoy when the word does go forth. It tells you that even in Philippians, the first chapter, Paul said, whether in pretense or in truth, Yahweh Shai is preached, and, therein, he rejoiced. So we rejoice when Yahweh Shai is being preached, but at the same time, when something is done not in season, you don't always give, credit. You know what I'm saying? And this was definitely done, out of season, because, we have no business trying to preach the word in commodious settings, where there's, chaos and disorder. It's very tumultuous. It's that's not expedient, and the scriptures talk about that. So just to land back off of this brother, because hey, in 2021, we need to be walking, with sense, with common sense, man. Discretion. All right, now let's go real quick and let's look up the word discretion. And the word is it says discretion. It says the quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information. It says circumspection. That's one of the synonyms. The scriptures talk about being circumspect. All right, and which scripture is that? We always get it. Ephesians, the 5th chapter. And now seeing that day is approaching, and how, this devil, it can't wait to demonize us. We got to walk even more circumspectly. We got to be blameless, man. All right, like it tells you in 2 Corinthians, man. All right, doing anything without offense, that the ministry be not blamed. All right, now them brothers didn't do anything illegal. They just went out there and taught. But it's just the atmosphere, where they set up to speak. That wasn't expedient at all, man. Things could have really jumped off. Then what? Last summer we had to get on brothers they thought it was cool to go out there and set up camp in the midst of chaos, and dudes could have got hurt. Jake was already out there running wild, and Esau, when Jake protests, Esau he brings out full force. When Esau does, Esau allows it because of the double standard, the fact that he's a hypocrite and he just hates you, Jake, so you can't stand up for yourself, but Esau can do what the hell he want to do. It was a lot more dangerous last summer, and that's why we have to get on brothers. Don't be out there setting up camp when you got, militarized police in riot gear, and, they shooting rubber bullets, putting people's eyes out, spraying tear gas and smoke bombs and grenades. Nah, man. That's expedient, man. That's superfluous. That's unnecessary. All right, that's not really helping the ministry when you do stuff like that. All right, so Ephesians 5 and 15, it says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil." So we got to be circumspect. All right, walk with discretion. All right, another synonym: care, carefulness, caution. All right, wariness. Okay, prudence. The scriptures talk about being prudent. You see, so it's even though Yahweh Shai being preached, and that's always a good thing, but it's out of season. You know, and we can't afford to walk, without wisdom and discretion in the times that we're coming into. We know that the accuser of our brethren, he got us in his scopes. He's waiting to demonize us, with whatever and whenever. All right, and that's how Esau, he likes to project. He likes to demonize others when he himself is guilty of doing things. That's the perfect example of a devil. Okay, he can't take responsibility for his own wickedness. All right, but nevertheless, we're to be blameless, man. See, so let me get First Corinthians, the 10th chapter. First Corinthians 10 and verse, where is it at? It might be Second Corinthians 10. Let me check. Let me go to Second Corinthians 10. Uh, all right, let me just type it in. I know it's in Corinthians. Yep, so it is. See, I got bad eyes, man. Salakia. It's another reason why we need to get out of these damn bodies. First Corinthians 10 and 23, it says, "All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not." So there's certain things that are just superfluous, man. It's really not needful. Even if it may be lawful, all right, but it's not expedient, meaning it's not profitable. It doesn't help. Because all that could have happened was you could have got yourself into a situation where you would have been disabled, and now you're not useful to continue to forward the word of the gospel, man. Now you laying up in the hospital, and now calling out to brothers, for funds, to help you out because you need help with your medical bills, laying up in the hospital recovering because using a line of fire, man. You know that does not benefit the ministry. But we understand, because Jay got to be badass, and they got to appear militant, they got to appear fearless. We know, we understand that, but that's still unwise. you know that's not adding to the body of Yahweh Shai, man. Right? Walk in wisdom. And even Paul, it was a point in time when there was a tumultuous situation happening, and Paul was actually finna go, to where the riot was going on to try to teach, and they persuaded Paul and said, "No, what are you doing?" Let me see if I can find that, because the Lord confusion, man. Was it Acts? I think it might have been Acts 17. I'm trying to remember where it was at. Let me see. me see. No, it's not here. Let me check the 19th verse. Bear with me while I look for the scripture. Yeah, here we go. This is Acts 19 and verse 20. I'll start at 24. All right. It says, "For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen, whom he called together with the workmen of like occupation, and said, Sirs, ye know that by this craft we have our wealth." See, these niggas was getting money off of selling idols, to these lost jakes. All right, they made it a market for gain, even though it was by evil mean. All right, it says, "Moreover, you see and hear that not alone at Ephesus, but almost throughout all Asia, this Paul has persuaded and turned away much people, saying that they be no gods which are made with hands, so that not only this our craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worshipeth." Showing you that there's nothing new under the sun. People always worshipped women, man. And right now you have, even Jake, predominantly Jake, they worship the woman. You see? And Jake been getting their ass kicked, by women for the last few decades, man. All right, but anyway, it says, "And when they heard these things, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, Great is Diana of the Ephesians. And the whole city was filled with confusion, and having caught Gaius and Aristarchus, men of Macedonia, Paul's companions in travel, they rushed with one accord into the theater. And when Paul would have entered in unto the people," and these people were full of wrath, they was bugging out, they was emotional as hell. And when Jake get emotional, when the emotions get to raging, Jake would tend to get violent, they get riotous. All right. Paul was about to try to go in there, and they said, and what the disciples do? The disciples suffered him not. You see? And a certain of the chief of Asia, which were his friends, so they had his best interests, said he would not adventure himself into the theater. All right. So they basically was looking out for him, like, don't go up in there. You're going to try to go in there and try to persuade them? What purpose would that serve? That wouldn't be expedient. You're not going to convert them. So the same thing applies when you're trying to go to a crowd of people, that are raging, and it's like there's nothing but crackers out there, man. What are you going out there to preach the word where there's a bunch of angry Edomites at for, man? We're sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We only sent to teach the elect. None of the elect are gonna be. You ain't gonna find none of the elect in no crowd like that, man. You're not gonna find no elect. That's in a part of Proud Boys. Serving Trump. All you saw, any nigga that you saw out there, they was either a part of Proud Boys, or there was some Trump supporters. Come on, man. And I'm not going to even get into the specifics, but you even had Antifa disguised as MAGA up in there. And I believe that was part of the reason why the police were under the orders to let them in there. Because we know that Antifa is a paid organization, along with Black Lives Matter by George Soros and the Rockefellers, man. But anyway, that's not the point of this lesson. But all type of left hand shit was going on, and here you got brothers out there, getting themselves, setting themselves in the midst, man. All right, we're not to be associated with any of that confusion. All right, even if your motives were genuine. It says some therefore cry one thing and some slakia. Yeah, some therefore cry one thing and some another, for the assembly was confused. So it was a gathering of chaos. It says in the more part knew not wherefore they were come together. So it wasn't wise for Paul to go up in that theater. All right, so his friends, they were looking out for him. Okay, and that was wise counsel. That was sound counsel. You know, and that's why the scriptures say, do nothing without counsel. That could have went bad. Hey, when Sakari set up over there in ATL, we we saw what happened, man. It could have ended real bad for them dudes out there. But that's what happens when you always trying to be up in the mix. All right. Sometimes publicity ain't always good, man. I know that's the saying in the world. All publicity is good publicity, but not according to this word. All right. It's not always about eye service, man. It's not about pleasing men. It's not about vainglory. All right. So anyway, and of course, when we do videos like this, they always take it as great GMS. They causing drama. Here they go again. Getting on brothers, causing division, this and the third. No, y'all just don't like that we shoot it straight. Open rebuke is better than secret love, man. All right. And the scriptures say to speak the truth to your neighbor. We wouldn't do it, and we wouldn't advise other brothers do it. That's why you would never see us out there doing that. All right, because that's not beneficial to the body, man. All right, it's unnecessary. It's superfluous. All right. Let all things be done unto edifying. And that's simple and plain. All right. So anyway, I'm not going to make this a long video. I just want to make a point, and this was just a land back. Off of this video, it was several brothers that also did videos as well. The Pre-Shaman in the main camp, he also did a video as well. All right. Hey, man, it's time to walk circumspect, man. Use discretion. All right, it's time to walk in wisdom, man. All right. Use some common sense. Anyway, with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. To the next lesson. Shalom.